Do you find yourself wondering what's the fastest path to cash? Inside this episode, we're talking about how to accelerate your path to cash and navigate the mistakes along the way. So let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Aimee Cerka. I'm so thankful that you're here. I just want to start off and say that. We're talking today about the fastest path to cash. And I'm hoping if you've been around for a while that you know me and you know my heart and you know that like the important the importance that I place on being legitimate and legit, real, authentic, all of those things. Like I'm not a hypey person. And this really was brought to my awareness over the last several days from recording this or before recording this. There we go. On like why that is so important to me. And I feel like there is a lot of hype in the industry about, like how quickly people make money. And I know that people do that. Actually, I know several of my coaches even were very profitable and very successful very quickly in their entrepreneur journey. That was not my story. And I don't like acting. I'm not acting like that is the case for everybody. That is very much a passionate thing for me that I want to make that clear. Like if you did not make money right away in your business in the first 6 months, there is nothing wrong with you. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before we dive into this. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the fastest path to cash, right? Like what's the fastest path to getting profitable? Let's like cash infusion, all those things. And we just wrapped up Cash Flow Unlocked. If you missed it, just go check out the webpage. We are probably going to hold that again. I haven't decided exactly yet when yet. There we go. I can speak. But these are the things that I know are most important. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about it. And just make sure you're subscribed because I've got some fun stuff coming that'll help you with this. Okay, let's do this. So before we can talk about the fastest path to cash, though, we have to talk about this long term because I do not want you to take like the short way out. I don't want the diet lifestyle. This is why we don't do no spend challenges. But we have to think about that when it comes to the cash flow in your business as well, because you can make a lot of cash fast. And of course, we're talking all legal, moral, and ethical above the board, right? But you can make a lot of cash and be miserable doing it. This is a lot of what's talked about. This is what a lot of people experience in a traditional 9-to-5 job. And that's probably why a lot of us started in entrepreneurship. But unfortunately, we sometimes replicate the same thing in entrepreneurship. So what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy? Do you love your business? Do you enjoy doing this? I was actually having a conversation with somebody that I'm working with yesterday, and she's out of town on vacation, but we do a lot of coaching via Voxer. It's the same way I like to coach. It's fun. It's done in the pockets of time, but it's enjoyable because we are both doing something that we love. We enjoy it, and we're able to do those things in those spurts of time that works around our schedules. And it's not super time consuming, but it's not draining because it's something that we enjoy. So she's able to do this in cracks of time while on her vacation. I mean, yes, we're not taking, like, she's still able to enjoy her vacation and step away, but we're still feeling fulfilled. It's not a drain. It's not like, oh, I have to do this thing. We get to do it. So before we're worried about like getting all of this cash, we want to make sure this is sustainable long term. There can be times where it's like a means to an end, and I get that. And I also get like we can do those things that like we can make a lot of cash, again, all legal, moral, and ethical, to get to a certain point and to be able to sustain the passion. But every time you say yes to that thing, whatever it might be, the thing that you're like really good at, you can make a lot of money at, but it's not what you love, you're saying no to what you love. And I want you to know that there's more the emotion, the way you feel about your money, the way that you feel when you're making your money, all of those things, that is way more important than just making a lot of cash, because we all know people who make $1 million a year, $250,000 even a year, and they're miserable. And I don't want that for you. There is more to life than just money. Yes, money is important, but we have to have your life along with it. Ready? Your money, your life, right? That's why they're both there. So we want to create the life that you love along the way. This is not about like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, it's just until I get there. Like, we have to create a life that we love and that there's nowhere to get to. We have to understand, yes, we are all working towards goals, but there's nowhere to get to. You have already arrived. There's already success here. It doesn't matter. We have to find the success in where we're at. You have to find the happiness in where we're at now. When you do that, then you make more cash, because you have to be happy with what you have now. Okay. And there is so much that we set up to do this inside Money Mastery Academy, like doing all these things. Okay. Yes, we'll get into the tactical, but you have to have that relationship, that mindset piece with. When you understand that, and if you are fighting like, I have to get this done so that I can make ends meet, this is hard. I know from experience, this is hard. But you have to know that. You have to know that there's nowhere to get to. There's success that you have now. You are blessed. You are successful. And if you're struggling with this, send me a message on Instagram. Like, I want to help you. Again, this is such a passion project. I want to help you find those successes. Okay. This is temporary, right? We're going to get there. You're going to get there. I know that you're a go-getter. I know that you're ambitious. I know that you won't give up. This feeling, this frustration, that stuff is temporary. As long as you don't quit, as long as you find the success in where you're at, you will make it. It's just a matter of time. And this is partially why I hate setting that monetary goal. I was just even telling somebody, like, if you've been in the entrepreneur space and you've done like a launch and they tell you to set the launch numbers and all of those things. And the reason why it drives me crazy and I hate doing this is because, like, I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want people to get disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed myself. Like, oh, we should have done better. It feels like that not enough shows up. And then we go back to creating the success with where we're at. So set the goal. Maybe don't put a date on it. Do those things. We have to be able to detach ourselves from the data. And that is something that's really hard to do as an entrepreneur. Like, you, in running your own business, like, you have the things. And a quick side note, if you hadn't noticed, we've made that shift here on the podcast and really in general with my brand. And the used to be that I only spoke to mom entrepreneurs, and there was a whole different change. But really, this whole time I've been speaking to the entrepreneur, because if you are somebody that's ambitious, that go-getter, you are looking to do more. And if you want to have a business and you don't know what business is right for you, again, just stay tuned. Stay with me. We've got you covered, because there's a million different reasons that we should have a business. And we actually talked about that last year on the podcast. I can put a link to that in the show notes. But this is important. All right, back to where we're at. You're going to make it out. You're going to make it. No matter what, that struggle, that frustration, it doesn't have to be there. But again, when you hit the next level, there's that new level of frustration, all the things. But I don't want you to set this like, it's going to happen by X date and then get disappointed. That is so frustrating. Again, from experience, right? And just quickly speaking to kind of what we talked about in the beginning. And this isn't always the case, because then again, this is like even more frustrating, I think. Or it can be more frustrating. There is so much personal development that we have to do as an entrepreneur. And really, if you do this even as an employee, you see the results, because this is what I did that I got a 32% raise when I was in my traditional 9 to 5 insurance job on my base income. That didn't even include commissions, but I got the 32% raise on the base income because of the personal development that I was working on. When we work on ourselves, you see success. Things transform, things change. When we prioritize working on our mindset, working on ourselves, this improves your relationships. This improves who you are as a human, and you make more. But we have to go through that personal development like makeover for long-term success financially. You can work your butt off and hit a certain number, even in your business, but it's not going to be sustainable long-term if you haven't done the personal development work. So sometimes we've done the personal development work and then we start a business and everything skyrockets. And then it's like that whole overnight success, but it really wasn't an overnight success. Like we've been working on it all this time. And there can also be like, you've done all the personal development work and it still takes a little bit of time. Like there are so many factors that go into that quote overnight success. If you're listening, I'm doing the air quotes, but again, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what the network is. We don't know all of those things, but no matter what, to get that fastest path to cash, prioritize your personal development, working on you, working on all of the things, working on your mindset, working on your relationships, working on how you respond, conflict resolution, understanding people, the compound effect. There's so many different things that we work on, but that's the key. Like start there and make sure we're creating a life that we love along the way, finding those successes, right? And you know what? We're going to end it there today. All right. I want to hear your challenge for today. I want to hear your takeaway. How are you feeling about your business? How are you feeling about your path? Do you feel like you're on the right track? Was this helpful? Was this inspiring? Was your like, that totally makes sense? Whatever it might be. I want to hear. Send me a message on Instagram at Aimee Cerka or shoot me a text 817-969-4653. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Wondering what's next? When you're ready, there are different levels of support that you can use on the path to creating unstoppable finances and your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique and your support should be too. Ultimately, we'll create a customized plan to ditch financial struggle for good that works for you, your goals, your priorities, your life. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of our most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me and we'll figure out what your next step should be.